Hey everybody, how you doing? I know I promised I was going to be a bit more regular, but these things do happen. I was just in the kitchen, not the literary kitchen. I was like in the kitchen trying to cook up something that would benefit you. Welcome, welcome to the Becoming series, exploring the deep truths and the principles that will enable you become everything you were created to be. Now, very quickly, let's jump into it. Why don't you want to die? Have you ever been faced or have you ever been in a situation where your life was threatened? I have. I have a number of times. There was one time we had uh, armed robbers come to my house or our house. I was staying with my siblings, and they came with guns and they came with knives and all whatnot. And I remember thinking to myself, "Is this the way it's going to end? God, please, don't let them take me. I don't want to die." Another time I was flying right in the airplane obviously. And there was so much turbulence. The winds were just tossing the plane to and fro. And I was like, oh Jesus, I don't want to die. Please help me, please. Right? And I'm sure we can all relate to that. Don't want to die. Why don't we want to die? I think it's a very important question, right? And I think I've also discovered the answer because this is something that is, for the most part, all of us can relate to, right? We want to live long, want to live a very long, fulfilling life. We don't want to die too soon, or we don't even want to die at all, right? If we had our way, we wouldn't want to die at all. But why don't we want to die? The answer? It is because deep down in our hearts, deep down, we know that we haven't done everything we were created to do. It is something that probably you haven't really thought about deeply, or you haven't, or you're not able to really put your finger on. But that is the reason. Deep down within you, you know that you haven't done the thing you were created to do. That is what is bothering you. Because if you leave this earth without doing that thing or those things, it's going to be epic to say the least. We don't want to die. That is why we don't want to die. Everybody wants to be successful, right? We've talked about the eight greatest needs of the human heart. You remember? Purpose, meaning, fulfillment, etc., value, significance. And at the end of it, or the last one was success. Everybody wants to be successful, whatever success means to you, because people have their own disparate views and opinions of what success means. But suffice it to say that everybody wants to be successful. But most of us don't achieve success. Now, to be successful, there are five questions you must ask. Five questions you must ask, and five questions you must answer if you want to be successful. Right? But even before we jump into that, have you ever, or let me put it this way, I said that we don't want to die because deep down we know or we realize that there is something we're supposed to do or to become that we haven't done yet and we haven't become yet. Now, the reverse is also the case. Those who have discovered what they were born to do, what they were born to achieve, are not afraid to die. Death never threatens a human being who has discovered his purpose or her purpose and has fulfilled it. Case in point, Dr. Martin Luther King Jr., right, the civil rights giant of the 1960s, who did a great deal in leading his people or leading the consciousness of the United States to giving the Black man his civil rights. Now, the last speech that he gave before he was assassinated, incidentally, he was assassinated the next day, the following day after he gave this speech. In that speech, he said that, it's a very long, epic speech. You can find it on YouTube. He said that he has been to the mountaintop, right? But before he said that, he said something else. He said that, like anybody else, I would love to live a long, fulfilling life. Longevity has its place, right? But I'm not concerned with that now, because I have been to the mountaintop and I have seen the vision that God has given me. And I know that we as a people will get to the promised land. He saw his vision, he saw his purpose, he had achieved what he had come to do. So he was not afraid to die. Nelson Mandela, before he was convicted, remember that he served about 27 years in prison. During his sentencing, right, he said these words to the judge. He said, "My Lord, freedom is an ideal I would like to live for. But if need be, it is an ideal I am prepared to die for." Wow. I am prepared to die. He was not threatened by death because he knew that he had come to deliver something. He was on an assignment. And if it meant that his life would be forfeit, then so be it. Whenever you truly recognize that you have found your purpose and you're walking actively in it, you will not be afraid to die. So, what am I saying? We are afraid to die because we have recognized that there is something we haven't done that we're supposed to do. But when we find that thing and we fulfill it or we walk actively in it, we do not become afraid anymore. We lose the fear of death. Now, how do you bridge that gap? It is all about becoming, which is what we're tackling here, right? And I said that everybody wants to be successful. But to be successful, there are 5 questions you must ask yourself. 5 questions you must ask and 5 questions you must answer. What are those 5 questions? We're going to be treating each one of them as we go along. But as an overview, what are these 5 questions? Number 1, who am I? Who am I? That's a difficult question to ask and to answer. Number 2, where am I from? Where am I from? Number 3, why am I here? Why am I here? Number 4, what can I do? What is the thing, or what are the things that I am able to do? What is my capacity? And number 5, where am I going? These 5 questions are the sum total of the human experience. Everybody on this earth is asking these 5 questions. These 5 questions have given rise to all the problems we have on earth as an individual, as families, as communities, as nations, right? As regions. These 5 questions are on the minds of everybody else. It is these 5 questions that lead us to do what we do, to think the way we think, to act the way we act. It is on the mind of the king. It is on the mind of the guy sleeping under the bridge. These 5 questions drive the human race. If you can ask those questions deeply and answer them truthfully, you'll be on your way to becoming a true success. Catch you soon.